The enti-mage corps was ready and waiting in a van to be called upon to spring forth and capture their target. The Magical Council detected some serious dark magic and, after investigation, identified the source. The man they were there to arrest was the head of some tech company. Oakenheart had to admit he barely understood the idea. It was more of a dwarf and human thing. Elves like himself, who kept the natural order, never understood why you would want to electrocute a rock. "So what has this dark mage done then?" Oakenheart asked, turning to one of the agents. A special agent werebeast known as Grizzle. "He has been harvesting life force from people across the planet," Grizzle replied grimly. Oakenheart's expression became equally grim. Such a powerful spell would mean that the mage they were after would have to be an apocalypse-class mage. "And they think our unit will be enough?" Grizzle nodded. "Yes, this mage is a human who supposedly performed at the lowest level during his education. We suspect he is merely part of a cabal of mages that have somehow used lost knowledge to expand the range of their magic. So he should be an easy takedown." Grizzle nodded in response to the question. "Yes, we expect we will be able to subdue him. If we are, however, wrong, there are several other anti-mage forces in the area on standby. Oakenheart, you're with me. We shall try to do this peacefully first." "Why me?" Oakenheart protested. "You, like me, are the oldest and have several generations of children to carry on your bloodline. To put it bluntly, we are both expendable." Oakenheart let out a long sigh. "Very well, but I want it on record. This is bullshit." Grizzle nodded. "Duly noted." The pair exited the van and headed toward the glass building where their target was. Entering through the double doors, they were greeted by a cheery woman behind the front desk, directly below a board with numbers clattering away as it counted up. "Welcome to VidScroller. How can we help?" the woman cheerfully asked. "We are here to see Dominic Claw," Grizzle stated calmly. "Oh, do you have an appointment?" "Tell him we are from the council. He will allow us to enter without one," Grizzle said, leaning his towering frame against the desk. "The council? Oh, yes. He marked a time frame for when you might arrive. Go on up. He's waiting for you on the 13th floor," the cheery receptionist said. Grizzle and Oakenheart looked concerned. The mage was expecting them and had even made his schedule clear to meet them. This did not bode well, let alone it indicated leaks in the council's enforcement offices. Entering the elevator, Oakenheart pressed the button labeled Boss right above the 12-number buttons. "It is like he is mocking us," Oakenheart growled. 13 was considered bad luck by many races. The elves knew it was because, like many prime numbers, devils invented it to spread their influence. So it was often used whenever dark magic was being cast. "This whole situation is a mockery. Stay alert," Grizzle growled, as his pupils narrowed to slits as the beast within threatened to come out. The door slid open with a ding, showing a beautiful view of the valley below. "Gentlemen, I welcome you," a human in a comfortable and loose-fitting shirt said. "Don't worry about any spells. I keep my magic strictly business." "Then you know why we are here?" Grizzle asked. "My little scheme has been rumbled and noticed by the council." "You are harvesting lifespans from people. I wouldn't call that a little scheme," Oakenheart snarled. "Well, only a little bit," the man admitted, pinching his fingers close together. "Why would you do this?" Grizzle demanded, storming up to the man and towering over him. "Well, the Claw name isn't exactly vaunted in the halls of magic." "We know this," Oakenheart confirmed. "Well, I found a new school of magic and simply used it. Besides, life energy is very potent, magically speaking." "A new school?" Grizzle let his claws extend out his fingers as they wrapped around Claw's neck. "This is dark magic." Claw, though, was unfazed by the threat. "This is magitech, specifically a programmed spell." "It matters not what it is," Oakenheart shouted. "You are harvesting life force from unwilling people." "Unwilling?" Claw echoed with a smirk. Shall I explain how the spell works? Then we can see if it has broken any actual law. The pair shared a glance before Grizzle released his grip from Claw's neck. First, the spell has been interwoven into my video streaming app. Lots of short-form and long-form videos, all easily accessed in the palm of your hand. So you use the technology as the method of harvesting? How has this not been detected till recently? Oakenheart asked. Well, I only harvest 1/10 of a second of life force for every 10 seconds a video is played. I see. Such a small amount would avoid detection for quite a while, Grizzle muttered. It is only recently, when we have seen several people lose considerable amounts of life force, that we began investigating. Yes, I have asked the app programmers to create a playback limit to prevent a possible detection, but I guess it's too late now. That still does not excuse you stealing their lives from them, Oakenheart shouted. Well, they are wasting it away doom-scrolling anyways. Oh, that's what I'm going to name the spell. It will be doom-scrolling. You should not take pride in this, Grizzle growled, letting more of his bestial form take over. You are, without their consent, harvesting life. But I have their consent, came Claw's quick and straightforward reply. You have their consent? Grizzle stammered, looking incredulous. Yes, terms and conditions. A large majority of people just scroll through it and click accept. As you know, a being not reading a magic contract properly is not a legal defense since that whole 3 demons owning 1 soul debacle. Surely some have read it, Oakenheart asked, refusing to believe such a thing was possible. Your scheme would be rumbled. You'd think so, but thanks to the statues for magic, people who have found it just think it's an Easter egg or a joke, hidden in the contract for those who actually read it. So, to put it simply, the Council doesn't have any legal grounds to come after me. Oakenheart and Grizzle shared a look. The logic Claw was spouting may be very Faustian and self-serving, but he was right. He, as he had explained it, hadn't actually broken any laws of the Council. It wasn't even defying the secrecy statutes, as people thought it was a joke. Now, I appreciate that this may be disappointing for your sort, but while you old folks have been enjoying a long life, we humans have been pressing forward technologically and magically. Your laws aren't keeping up. Claw began to guide them back over to the elevator. May I ask something at least? Grizzle asked. Seeing Claw nod, he continued. Surely such small amounts of time are far too small to be useful. You'd be right there. 1/10 of a second really isn't all that much. But did you see that big counter at the entrance? It was Grizzle's turn to nod. That big number you saw is our user base. We have nearly 200 million users worldwide. It would be nothing if I were harvesting that small amount of time from one person. But the accumulated time is harvested from millions. The pair watched as the door slid shut while Claw just smiled at them. Oakenheart. The Council will need to hear this. Maybe new laws, or... I honestly don't know. This is as bad as when they relabeled clockwork golems into interns, to justify not paying them.